Hey there, welcome to the table. So, one of the things we needed to do before we closed out was we needed to actually perform the landing procedure with the Space Ranger. So, I had some difficulty with my recording. We missed the initial log, which it's not letting the app is thinking that we already played that log, so it won't let me replay it. Like I type in the log and it's skipping it, and it's jumping to log 280. So log 267 is the landing one, and you can see here, like there's even a mark this box if it's already been played, and then we skip over this dialogue. So I just wanted you to understand that I had started recording, made a big mistake, and was like, okay, I'm going to start over because I was only like 5 minutes into the recording. So we're doing this again, but we missed this little dialogue, and basically all they're saying is that the planet is highly sulfuric. There's a lot of thermal vents and a very good likelihood of finding bacteria. Otherwise, the people doing the landing thought, this is a worthless planet, and then, the builders must have picked it for a reason. So that's the dialogue that you're hearing here. And then, they're saying, okay, yep, over and out. And so here's the actual landing procedure. So then we gotta, get that going. So that's where you're at here.
Vanguard, we are detecting substantial amounts of space debris on our approach vector, beginning evasive maneuvers.
So this is asking us, do we have 4 armor and 4 agility? We don't. And so we have 4 armor, but not the agility. So now we got to roll Stranger Danger die. And I rolled the little fox symbol, fox oil, which is cargo damage. Oh, that's not good. Destroyed supplies. Lose 4 supplies reduced by armor. We have 4 armor, so actually we're good. And then we progress the track by 1. I'm not going to reach across the table, but you can see here we're in the 3rd location, and we need to progress it 3 times. We've done 1 out of the 3. So let's keep going. Nope. Then we're going to roll again. And I'm okay. I will roll fox all day. That's a good idea. Cargo damage. And again, we're going to progress it by 1. And sorry, I had to pause. My son just came home. All right, we have moved a second time. Basically, we want to just keep rolling this if we're going to roll something. Has the marcher reached the landing space? Nope. And we're going to go one more time. So let's go. Oh, that's a perfect one. I like it. We're going to do other. Progress the landing one space to the right, but not beyond the last space. What does that mean? Has it reached the landing successful space? Well, that would be the last space then, right? The landing successful. That is confusing language. I'm going to say yes. All right, open the Planetopedia on pages 8 to 9. Roll a d10 and check the result. Oh, okay. We got to get the d10 here. Here we go. I rolled a 6. So 6 to 9. Nothing happens. If dust storm is the first threat you've ever encountered, remember to check the threats rules on chapter 3 of the rulebook. Open the ship book at page 24 and begin planetary exploration. Okay, now part of the recording that I told you I had to redo because I screwed up was that page. So we already have everything set up. We got there were 3 M10 mission cards, and we randomly picked one, and this is the one that we got. We got the we have to clear a sector with the V. We have 2 unique discoveries, 4 and 6, and then everybody drew 3 cards because we're level 2. And the last thing we drew a rank up card. And so this one is if there's no more unique discoveries. So we just have to find the 2 unique discoveries to rank up. But bear in mind, all of our guys are rank 2. So in order to get to rank 3, we need 6 success tokens. which is going to be a tall order. And then these guys, we did go through what their individual objectives are. Two of them are almost identical. So let's look at these two together. Joppy and Cho. Anytime we gain any number of strange flora or live specimen leads, this moves up. Anytime you gain any number of live specimen or mineral leads, this one moves up. Now, it says you. It says during your turn. You see that? That's the key thing. So if the scientist were to gain leads because the scientist has those cards that can put lead tokens out, this doesn't move up. This is only during your turn, which makes these, in my opinion, really hard. Like, you got to basically get 8 leads. That's near impossible, in my opinion. And then this one, the science officer has to sacrifice 3 dice, 1, 2, 3. And it can't be done for the purposes of exertion, which is the thing where you sacrifice to get 5 dice back. So it's got to be sacrificed for some other reason. And then here, this one is, you got to use your crew member ability. He's got the ability to spend a charge to draw a card from the discard deck. But if he draws a card from it and uses it during a dice check, and does it twice, then he gets his. So this one's actually, I think, the easiest one to do, assuming he has a card in the discard pile. So I'm just going to set these off to the side here, and we'll come to them, hopefully, if I don't forget. And then, lastly, somebody made a comment that, I was saying that the equipment cards, I'm just going to give them to my people because it doesn't matter if they're on the lander. And they made the comment that supplies can get destroyed. And I think I responded and said, well, supplies are different than equipment. Well, let me just say that I now understand, because when I opened the logbook to see the table for the landing of this one, because I like to see the table of like, okay, if I roll this, this happens. You could actually have equipment destroyed too as part of the landing. And if that were ever to happen to us, I would have just said, yeah, let's just go through and take equipment away from some of our people. I get it. I get what the person's saying now a little bit better. And speaking of which, we do have equipment here, and you can see that it's based on a section, so it's not like there's a no-brainer here. And then we got the construction arm, the jetpack, we have the adrenaline shot, and then last time we took the med kit instead of the portable AI, and this one lets you, if you're in a flag sector, you may roll 1 die from your spent pool, or we can just have a med kit, which for a green die you can get rid of an injury die. I'm going to do the portable AI. I'm not going to do the med kit. These med kits, you do get rid of the die. That part is okay, but I'm not a big fan. So basically everybody's just getting the equipment that we made for them, and some of these are one-time use, but it is getting a little cumbersome to remember what everybody can do when you're controlling all 4. I do find it interesting that some of the viewers, and it's not just this playthrough, it's all of them, they talk about the perils, like when they see me controlling all the characters instead of just whatever was recommended for a solo play. So they're like, yeah, you should just control 2, but I'm controlling 4. And it's like a hawk. They wait until I make that one mistake where controlling 4 characters overwhelmed me. And had I been only controlling 2, I wouldn't have made that kind of mistake. And then, bam, that comment just immediately goes into the video. It cracks me up. And first of all, there's nothing inaccurate about that. Because you're right. Had I been controlling 2, this wouldn't have happened. That mistake. However, controlling 4 is more fun. And I'm willing to have mistakes like that for more fun. That's the part I think maybe some people just aren't processing. And maybe they are, and everybody has different priorities. Like, some people don't want to make mistakes. Ever. There's narcissists out there that never admit they made a mistake, right? There's a personality type that, 10 to 20% of the people in the world have. So maybe that's part of it, right? I'm okay with making mistakes. I sometimes like I feel bad if they're really major mistakes because you're wasting your time watching a video or whatever. Um, but controlling 4 characters is way more fun than controlling 2. For me, I get a fun factor that's through the roof because I want to see how all 4 interact with each other. I want to see how all 4 play. I want to maximize the game. And if it causes me to make a mistake because I forget that I had this one card on this one guy, I don't care. So, but the Hawks do. They come in every playthrough. Dungeon Universalis, you go through the comments on my playthrough, they're there. You got that one person saying, had you controlled only 1 or 2 characters, this wouldn't have happened to you. And it's very interesting. It's almost like parent-like. Like, I told you, to wear a raincoat today. It's almost like that. You got rained on. I told you to wear a raincoat today. So, too bad, too sad. You were told. And the thing is some of us don't care if it rains and we get a little bit wet. And so that's the thing. I mean, yeah, you told us to wear a raincoat, but I don't care. It's 80 degrees out. Let it rain. So that's, I think, the analogy. Sorry for the rant. That was such a random rant. But me commenting about how there's so much equipment I have to keep track of actually is what triggered me to think of it. But anyways, and if you're one of those people who have admonished me for controlling 4 characters instead of 2, I'm not trying to pick on you. I mean, everything you stated is 100% accurate. There's nothing inaccurate about it. It's just that it does not reflect, like for me, the fun versus mistakes ratio is not overcome. My desire to not make mistakes is overruled by my desire to have fun. And controlling 4 characters provides more fun. And so therefore I'm willing to make the mistakes. That's really the best way to describe it. All right. Enough of that ranting nonsense. Let's go. Okay, all 4 of us are here. And we now know that the recon has to go first because we missed that last time. Well, there's this no travel thing, so we got to deal with that. This is the first planet where we may land multiple times. There is a log over here for liftoff. Okay, one of the things going through my mind, and when we were doing the Space Ranger landing, I rolled really well. One of the options could have caused us to lose a lot of supplies, equipment, like really made it like we're in an awful situation, right? Because the lander gets damaged, all that stuff. So here's a question for those of you who know how to play this game. What harm is there? Like, let's say that we landed and all of our supplies got damaged. Can we simply, since all 4 of us are here, can we just lift off? Because that's the liftoff location. Can we just lift off? Like, what's preventing us from saying, okay, let's do a do-over? We're going to go back up to the Vanguard. We're going to get our command tokens, and like you can actually even move production along, right? You could just land, lift off, until all of your production queues are gone. Everybody's out of the med bay. So now I got all my characters available to me. Like, what's to prevent us from doing that? And that's an honest, serious question. Because like I'm trying to understand, like I know it's cheesing the game. That's probably the right word, cheesing. I'm cheesing the game when I do that. But I think it allows us to do that. So if my landing procedure would have gone bad and I would have rolled, I don't even know, like I think that was the really bad one. Like this one here was a bad outcome. Had I rolled that, would I be able to just say, okay, we're not going to, we're damaged. We're not in a good place here. So let's just lift off and then come back and fight another day. So that's a legitimate question. Right there is liftoff log 440. And here you go. We have all 4 people together. We could do that. And that's seriously something that's on my mind. And it tells you right here, liftoff may only be performed by a crew member in the lander sector. Other crew members must agree. It ends the planetary exploration. In this case, we could revisit this planet over and over again, so there's no harm. Anyways, I think you get the point. We did land successfully. We don't have any damage, so we're going to make a go of this, of course. But it's just something that really is on my mind, because I definitely wouldn't want to do this mission had we taken damage. All right, getting back to this. Survey the surface. So we got a lot of options here. A red and a green would replace this card with P085, and we do, or go to log 42 if we get an accident. Down here, now this is just a regular dice check. This is a dice check with a danger die, and it looks like it has an A inside of it. Survey the ravines. If we get 2 compasses, we gain a unique discovery, and then it gives us 2 microorganism leads, and then replace with P160. So that survey the ravine thing is clearly the better of the 2 options. So let's look at our recon and see what we can do. We have move a person right here. Reroll a green die, reroll a green die. I couldn't have asked for a more perfect set of cards, because here's why. One of the green dice is the compass, and the other one is our wild child. So those are the 2 we want to roll. Oh, and I gotta put charges on all of our characters. So this guy has 1. This one has 2. And then we got 3. And this character has 2. So Joppy is our recon person, and he only has 1 charge. And his charge says, spend a charge to assist with any number of dice instead of 1. We're not going to do that. We're going to do the emergency broadcast. So I'm going to spend 1 charge from everybody. So 4 charges just got spent, and we're going to give ourselves 2 supply, and this is going to go up to 8. All right. Let's survey this ravine, and let's hope we get 2 compasses. And I could not have asked for a more perfect outcome. Look at that. We ended up getting 3 compasses. All right, so we've got 2 compasses and then another wild. And over here in the global conditions, there's a dice check for travel. And then here, any eyeball lets you gain a microorganism lead. Now, Joppy only gets to move his tracker if it's live specimen or mineral leads, not microorganism. But what we're going to get is we're going to get 3 microorganism leads, because right here it's gain a unique discovery, and then you're going to gain 2 microorganism leads, replaced with a P160 card. Okay, so we're going to actually get 3. But this other one is you do special effects first, so this happens right away. Let me grab this. Shaky, shaky. For goodness sakey. And here we go. We grew a 1. So microorganism discovery has 1. And that's just a little lightning bolt. It was just me missing the basket there. Okay, so that doesn't count towards his objective. We're going to gain a unique discovery. It doesn't say which one, so I'm going to assume that it's just the first of the 2. So we're going to gain unique discovery 4, which is oxygenating extremophile. When you gain this card, each crew member refreshes 2 dice, which that stinks because, although I will refresh these dice, so I guess that's good for him. Nobody else has taken a turn yet. All right, so that gives us 1 out of our 5. And we're halfway towards our rank up goal, which is good. And then we replace with P160. Another comment somebody made, speaking of comments, somebody said that in the tutorial mission, if you remember, I was getting frustrated because we turned the power on and then I didn't know what to do next. They said that I missed a point of interest card. Like I was supposed to draw one and I missed it. Well, that would explain things, and I feel better about that. And that was definitely a mistake on my part. So this gets replaced with this. So now we can travel. Strange drone. A small artifact of alien technology lies ground into tiny pieces and scattered over a large area. So we can study the probe. It would take a pickaxe and an eyeball. You would gain 1 success and 3 alien tech leads. And go to log 14 or log 195, depending on the outcome. But before I do that, we got to draw 2 more leads before we close this out. And the 2 more microorganism leads are this. So we got a 2 and a 0. The 0 is going to go back in the bag because we now have 3 points. So I'm going to take the 2 and the 1, set them aside. We just gained a microorganism lead. When unloaded, you may discard this card to draw a random mineral discovery. So we now have 2. Okay, and then this replaces. We've got 1 action left. We can't do the special action again, so I'm thinking we want to travel. Where do we want to travel to is the question. I'm going to just put everybody off. Both of these use the travel marker. This one will let us gain microorganism leads. Again, don't need microorganism with this person, but it does use the compass, which the recon guy could do. It's exploring the vents. Or we can go here, which has nothing. We're going to go ahead and explore the vents, because I think this guy's equipped to do that. So we're going to go along this travel here. And the travel, according to the global condition, is we have to do a dice check. And it's green if we just spend any die, or we have to roll the danger die. And I forgot, we were supposed to roll the danger die with that last action. So we rolled the fox here, and it's A. And so he does gain a wounded injury, so that blows. Got a wounded injury right out of the gate. Alright. So Joppy is now wounded. And the thing is he's got room on the top here for this. He is rank 2, so we can use these spots even though they have symbols on them. So I'm not too concerned about it, but yeah, it is what it is. Getting wounded right off the start stinks. But he's moved. His turn's over. Sorry for the bump. And let's draw the event card. Okay, the symbol here, it looks like a sun on the horizon, which is this symbol right here. So this is triggering. Sacrifice to gain 3 live specimen leads, or lose 1 supply. Now, here's the thing. Joppy needs live specimens. So he would get 1, 2, 3 towards his goal. So I think it stinks to have to sacrifice, but we're going to do it. I think that's better than losing a supply. So what are we going to sacrifice is the question. I think we're going to sacrifice... I want to say either the red or the blue basic. Let's do the red. No, we'll do the blue basic. So we've already lost a die. It's sacrificed. I'm going to just stick it off to the side there. But we gain 3 leads, which pushes us all the way to 5. And here we go. I don't know how badly I need these leads, but we got them. And there we go. We got a 0, 0, and 1. All of them are going to go back in the bag eventually. But right now, they're on the live specimen lead. We just got 1 point towards that. Okay, so that event is done. And now we move to our science officer. So next in line is this guy. So we got eyeball and pickaxe. That would give us 3 alien tech leads and a success token. Well, speaking of which, did we get a success? No, we did not. So here we go. We got discard a discovery to gain 1 of any type. We got a reroll any number of green dice and discard a charge to gain 2 lead tokens of any type. So that's good. During a dice check, if you have at least 2 results in the roll pool that are Vanguard, spend 1 charge to move all dice with accident result to the spent pool, so basically the accident doesn't have to trigger. So, the science officer does not have an eyeball. He does not have, well, he does have the pickaxe. We gave him the pickaxe when we bought. So he has this, but he has no eyeball. And this is the one comment I made, is we did not get an eyeball die with anybody. So, we have the ability to re-roll a green die. So, let's see. We do have a Vanguard die, a wild child. So we're going to try again. Let's see if we can get that big success there. And look at that. We got bing and bing. We got 2 Vanguards, which is exactly what we needed. Yes, that was a lucky roll, folks. So we gain a success token. That's very important because we need 6 of them. And then we gain 3 alien tech leads, and then we also get the successful outcome. That's what we were shooting for. So 3 alien tech leads. We're drawing tech leads like mad right now. Look at this. We ended up getting +1 card, a 0, and a 3. So the 0 is going to go back in the bag, and then these 2 are gone. We already drew a 3. So alien tech is, when unloaded, you may discard this card to place 2 energy in the pool. So we already have 3 discoveries, and we gain a card, which is, we can discard 1 charge to gain 2 lead tokens of any type. Alright, Amir needs to sacrifice dice. Yeah, we're not ready to do that yet. It's too early. So let's do that later. Okay, so we now have to go to log 14. Is card M34 revealed? No.
Away team exploration report 31F.
An exciting find. We've come upon pieces of clearly alien technology. Dust storms and rolling rocks damaged it severely, but preliminary analysis of the remains indicate it was some kind of miniature drone. Too small to have come from space. We tuned the scanners to the unusual radioactive elements found in the drone's coils, and we've detected similar signatures in the vicinity of a large volcano visible on the horizon. Either the drones came from there, or they were studying the volcano. Either way, visiting it might be worthwhile.
Alright, we gain a success token. That's excellent. We're now 2. Replace mission card 31 next to the planet board. So here we go. Scout the volcano. So we need to fully explore the sector with that symbol, which we now have 2 objectives that are the exact same thing. So that's actually excellent. And then this is, I don't want to miss this. We need to put P010 out. Oh, come on. Here we go. So P010 is each crew member who ends their turn in this sector is going to lose a die. Yeah, we definitely don't want that happening. So it's just become a wasteland now. Alright. So we will replace this with that. So everybody's got to move out of here. That's basically the takeaway. And I need to put P160 back. Oh, there's 2 P160s. Crap. I didn't realize that. There were 2 of them. Yeah. The other one was like a mining mission. but that's okay. We grabbed one of them. You could say we grabbed it from random. I gotta be more mindful of the fact that there could be multiple of a same number. I just took the first P160 I found. There was two of them in there. So my apologies there, but you know what? You randomly get one and I didn't know what they were. It's not like I looked at them. Okay, so next action for the science officer, we've got to get out of Dodge. I don't want to go help the recon person. Let's keep moving. So I'm going to move this way to go to log 25. And to do the travel, we have to either spend a die or roll the danger. And I'm realizing that the recon person didn't do either. Because I remembered I had to roll a danger because that was part of the special action that we did. So the recon person needs to spend a die. So we will spend... we'll spend a muscle die here. Okay, now getting back to the science person, they have the same choice. Roll danger or spend the die. Now remember, this die, when you roll for A, one of them wounds you. Three of them make you spend a die anyways. So you're going to spend a die already, or you could possibly get wounded, and there's a small chance that nothing happens. Let's roll. And that's the fox symbol, which is awful. That means we got wounded. So that was not a smart choice on my part. So I'm going to go ahead and add the injury. And sure enough, we're getting hosed. There's our injury die. Right from the start. Not good, not good. Okay. Now we got to do log 25. Sometimes the dice... Sometimes you win by the dice and you lose by the dice, right?
Away team, exploration report 27C.
While exploring a rocky area, we located an entry into a large cave complex. It includes structures consistent with the effects of water erosion. Caves sprawl in all directions. Analyzing them could derail our mission, but liquid water environments offer a high chance of encountering life.
P80. Alright, there's only one P80. So we got it. Alright, so this is P80. Map the caves. Needs a compass. You gain a mineral lead. Otherwise, it's 2 dice to go to log 7 or bad things. So we'll put that on. His turn's over. Let's draw an event card. It looks like a volcano with or it looks like actually a person, like a corporate CEO kind thing. Doesn't match, so progress all tracks by 1. Done. Okay, next is security. We are sitting in no man's land, so we got to get out of there. We can move and do like a special action. This one needs a compass, and security actually has a compass. So we're going to go up to here. And I am going to roll the danger die because security is the one character that can deal with wounds. Dang it, we ended up getting... I didn't want to be wounded, I just... Oh, so we got a wound with him too. Everybody's wounded. That means they're all going to the med bay. Okay, so security has reroll red dice, a whole bunch of them. The compass, though, is the green die. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the green die and Uh, let's do the wild child die. Because, maybe if we roll a wild, it'll deal with the fact that we might not roll the compass very well. So let's do that. Yeah, because we can re-roll the red die. So let's see what happens here. And we're basically trying to do the special action. So we rolled the accident, which causes us to lose one supply or roll the danger die with the C. I'm going to roll the danger die, and I rolled a blank. Thank goodness. So this doesn't happen. And then we have two wilds here. One of the wilds is we can gain a microorganism lead. So let's do that. Microorganism lead. And we gained a 1. So that's going to go on microorganism discovery. It doesn't do much for him because that's not his objective. But it at least uses one of the wilds. The other one, of course... Oh, you know what? He could have used a wild to just draw 3 cards or something like that. But that's okay. We're going to keep going. He gains a mineral lead for succeeding at this. And the mineral lead is a 2. So we're drawing all kinds of good stuff here. They're being spread a little too thin. Let me move these guys off. So, okay, so we dealt with the accident. We did this. We gained the mineral lead, and now we're going to go to log 7.
Away team, exploration report 27B.
We found trace amounts of water on the cave floor, but the central corridor ended in a massive cave-in. The sensors detected unusual vibrations from the other side of the rubble, as well as something that might have been a substantial concentration of water. Unfortunately, breaking through would require a large-scale excavation effort.
Okay, so now we got to use POI 81. All right. I am going to pull this a lot closer to me. I don't like leaning across the table all the time like I'm doing. Okay, so we were 180, I believe. Nope, we weren't. What the heck did I do? Oh. There's more than 181. So let's do... We're going to do the second one, but I'm going to look at both. So they're both cave-ins, and they're both clear the cave-in. And just, they look both identical. What's even different between them? You need a wrench and a red and a blue. Maybe because there could be more than one on the game board at the same time. That must be it. Anyways, there's more than one. They're identical. So there we go. Let's close this out. We now have a cave-in that would require wrenches to get rid of. That sounds like an engineering job. So maybe we can let the engineer do that. That does end his turn, so we're going to draw the event. And the event at the top says it's a... What is that? Oh, it's a leaf. There is no leaf, so we're going to progress the tracks by 1. So now it's 2. On the global, that just progressed to 2. Okay, engineers left. Again, we're in nothingness. So we're going to go ahead and go to... we got to go to where the wrench is. The unfortunate thing, though, is the engineer does have the wrench die, but that's all she has. Well, actually, no. She has the construction arm, which will let her create a wrench out of a blue basic. So let's see if we can use that. So she's going to travel up. I am not rolling the danger die because we've learned our lesson. I've not been rolling well with that. We'll spend a die. Which one are we going to spend is the question. Red and blue will succeed. If it's not a wrench, the red and blue still succeeds. So we're going to spend a green, which is dangerous because that's the only green she has, but that's what we're going to do. She can spend a charge to refresh one die more and draw an additional card. That's pretty cool, actually. All right, so how are we going to do this? We're going to roll the wrench. We're going to roll the wild child. And let's check. She can reroll red dice. She can turn something into a pickaxe. We're not going to do that right now. And she can reroll a blue. So she's got some good cards. And then we could see here, you got 2 red and 2 blue. So technically speaking, you could pair these up to do one combo and pair these up to do another. So we're going to have her roll her entire amount, which is going to definitely consume a lot. And then these belong to the security officer. So we're going to roll her whole kit and caboodle. Not necessarily the greatest thing in the world, but we're going to do it. And hopefully this will progress it along just nice. Yep. Alright, so the accidents are not good. However, accidents still allow you to use colors. So these will still count. That red and blue will still count as progress. And the problem is they also progress. Well, no. Accident is on there, so they're not going to count as progress. So the accident happens right away. So these two, or no, it doesn't. Hold on. We have reroll a red, reroll a blue. We're going to play both those cards. So let's re-roll these. I'm going to set these off to the side. There we go. A little bit better. Alright, this is what we got. Okay, so we got some vanguards. We got our wrench that we were looking for. This can be another wrench. And then these are both useless. So they basically mean the... So I could pair red and blue together to make a wrench, or I could just call these both wrenches, and then these are just, they're not used. And that's okay. It actually, it doesn't hurt us, because only the accident dice cause us to go to the red. But you could argue that any other die causes you to go to red, because that's a fail. So what we could do is we could still pair them up even though they're vanguards. So that way they're used for good and not for evil. So this is a wrench. This, because of the construction arm, is also a wrench. And then these pairs are wrenches. So we did not progress the evil track at all. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 were one away from clearing the debris. And that took all of her dice to be able to do. That was a big effort. And that brings us to the end of her turn. So we draw an event. And there's a crap ton of these. So let's see. That one matches. You may exhaust 2 to draw 2 cards, or you may discard 2 cards to refresh 2. She doesn't have cards and she doesn't have dice. So she's not going to do either. And these are maze, so she doesn't have to do them. This was a friendly event, so very grateful for that. And that brings us to the end of the round. So now we go to the next round. The engineer could resupply and then finish the cave-in. And I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to move the engineer to be the first person. So I'm going to move the start token to her. We're back to 2 actions. We're going to spend 1, and we're going to spend a supply point to get some dice back. So she has 2, 4, 6, 7 dice. Divided by 2 is 3.5. you round up to 4. So we're going to get her wild child back. We're going to get the red basic back, the wrench back, that's 3, and the blue basic. Oh, this is actually tougher than you think. The blue basic for 4. Now, here's what was going through my head, and this is why it's tough. I need 1 success to move that sucker forward. You could argue, hey, just roll the wrench die. I have no reroll abilities on here. But here's what I'm going to do. Her special ability says spend 1 charge, so we're going to spend one of these charges to refresh a die, 1 die more, and draw an additional card. So we're going to refresh that, and we're going to get a red die, and then we're going to draw a card, which lets us reroll anything. And now we're golden. So we're going to take that wrench die. We're going to do exactly that. We're going to roll. And I rolled the wrench, so I didn't need to use the card. And so those are her 2 actions. And this progresses, and now we go to log 35. I know this, by the way, we got to clear a place that has the Y symbol. That's way over here, number 7. That's the only one I see. I don't see, look, number 6 doesn't have it, 5, 4. So we're spending a lot of time here, and dice. Roll a d10. Oh, geez. Okay. I rolled a 7. Is your result 0 to 4? No.
The cave system is long, convoluted, and filled with liquid water, but seems sadly devoid of life. The radiation counters are starting to light up the further down we go.
That was useless. P167. That was a lot of dice for, oh, there's more water. Okay, there's 2 P167s. And they are not the same. So, shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. We are going to take this one. So it is a murky pool. So it's another one of these, progress things. There's a take samples one that could have also happened, but I'm going to put that one back. So murky pool it is. And that is now there. And we, the engineer used both actions. So we now have to draw an event. And that event is malfunction. And I'm looking, I think, let's see, we have this one here. It looks like rain. That one does match. So she has to lose a supply or roll a danger die with a G. And I'm assuming G is not a fun one. It is not a fun one. In fact, you could lose supplies with this one. Or get a burn injury. Ooh. I'll go ahead and roll. And that was not a good outcome. Actually, you lose a supply. So either way, we're going to lose a supply. So we're down to 6. So not good. Not good at all. Alright, engineer done. Now we move to the recon, who is all by himself over here, but that's what recons do. Explore the vents. We need a compass and a basic to get 2 microorganism leads. Now, Joppy does not gain any progress for microorganism leads, so it's not super necessary for him to do that. But the other thing we got to do is a red, a green, and a blue, which is more dice. So do we try for the compass? he can re-roll green dice, twice in fact. So we're going to try for it. We got a compass and a wild child. So if we roll those, we could use the wild child. Or actually, we have a compass and we have a basic die. Let's not use the wild child. Microorganisms don't help him. So we're going to do a compass and a basic, and then use his rerolls to help us. So let's go for it. And as you can see, I rolled 2 basics. So we got 1/2 of what we're looking for. This is the compass die, so we're going to re-roll that one, and I'm going to play a die to do this, or a card. So let's roll. Oh my gosh, we got it again. So I'm going to play another card to re-roll. Thank goodness we had 2 of them. And let's get it done. Come on. There it is. Oh my gosh, I was getting nervous. It took both re-rolls to accomplish this. Alright, so we're going to gain 2 microorganism leads. The microorganism leads I'm not as concerned about. It was more of a, I just wanted to spend less dice. So we got a 0 and a 0 and +1 charge. The +1 charge is actually good stuff because he had no charges. So we're going to give him a charge back. Alright, he accomplished that. We gain a success token. That is what we need. And then we replace this card with P162. And here we go. P162 is a bacterial colony. And there's another unique discovery. So you need a DNA and an eyeball to accomplish that. That is worth doing. So, can I pull off a DNA and an eyeball? Maybe. I need cards that let me reroll green dice to be able to do that. So I got another action to do. I can't do a special action again. So I'm going to do the prepare action, which lets me draw a card. And there you go. That lets me reroll a die, and that's a good one. Very good one to get. All right. It would let me do the bottom piece, which is, I can do a dice check, but I'm not interested in doing that here. These bottom pieces are they're interesting, but like to do a dice check means I'm consuming more supplies potentially because I'm burning dice just to get whatever's on the bottom. Not always the best, but okay. So the plan for this guy is he's got his wild child die, and so we're going to use that. Plus he has this special ability here where he can get a compass and a DNA just from spending this. And so we can actually accomplish this by getting the DNA from that and then use the wild child for the other. And if I get lucky enough, maybe I can get 2 wilds and then I don't even need to spend anything. So that's the idea. Let's put his dice away. And his turn's over, so let's draw an event. Okay, so he's got the meteor and the one that looks like a sun, which is none of these. So the track progresses by 1. And there it goes. Okay. Science officer is sitting here at the murky pool. This one requires DNA and science symbols to progress the track on the yellow. Otherwise, it's green and blue to progress the red. The science officer and my apologies. Joppy needed to roll his injury die. We rolled this. This does not match, so he's okay. Science officer. So we got our injury die. We need DNA plus science, which he has. He has exactly both. That would give him 2 successes, but he needs a third success. To spend a supply just to get 2 dice back would be brutal. He needs his wild child, is what I'm trying to get at. Actually, I got a way to get a third, so I think we're going to do this. Let's just roll these 3. Move these dice out of the way. Oh, people could assist him. We could possibly do an assist. So, like, engineering could, for example, provide a wild child die. Or, yeah, recon can't, but engineering can. We can assist. Let's do that. We're going to throw in the assist die. This is engineering, so I'm going to roll this one separate. Look at that. I got 2 wilds. Holy cow, that is an excellent outcome. And then we got the DNA we're looking for. We did not get this, but the 2 wilds were great. But this does trigger. So let's he has to exhaust a die. So he's going to exhaust his. Oh, you know what? We got an even better outcome. He's going to exhaust his red basic as part of the injury. So here's the deal. His character card, as you can see, uses a basic blue to generate this. So he actually got 2, and then this is 3, and then he has 1 more wild left over. That 1 more wild left over will get us a microorganism lead. So let's do that. Oh, you know what? I didn't pay attention. I was not paying attention. Look at this. You gain 2 microorganism leads, but there's no arrow. It doesn't progress this along. So I don't know how badly I want 2 microorganism leads. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, yeah, it sounds great, but we already got 3 discoveries and we only carry back 5. And the problem is, in order to progress the green track, you need a green plus a blue, so the vanguards don't help to do that. And then also we have to roll the danger die along with it to examine the water. Man, there's all kinds of things I missed with this one. Let's roll that danger die right now. And that's not good. I rolled the fox symbol, which has so far been awful. And it's a C. Oh, look, we actually got lucky. For C, nothing happens. So we got lucky with that one. Okay. My apologies. I did not pay attention. Usually when you get the yellow, there's an arrow that goes to the green, but that's not the case here. And I was trying to get the yellow without realizing that. I'm going to keep the dice rolls, and I'm okay with the assist because, 2 vanguards, yeah. But I could have rolled, for example, 2 more dice. And I am going to do that. I'm just going to add that to the pool here. This is the science officer. And there you go. I got a green and a blue, right? So now I can do multiple things here. For example, I can make this 1, 2 progress, and then this is just, 2 of something else. I did the microorganism lead already, didn't I? I did. So you need 2 symbols to move this one to get the microorganism lead. So we already got a microorganism lead from the volcanic fumes global. So I'm just going to not use that Vanguard, but we're going to use the green plus the blue to put 2 progress on this track. And this is an awful track to progress, that's for sure. Holy cow, it is awful. So we're going to put all these dice in. Basically, all of his dice are spent. And he's going to have to rest or resupply. So we're going to do that right now for the second action. And so the supply is now down to 5, and we haven't even gotten to the location we're supposed to get to. I can definitely see this game. These are like red herrings, I think the game threw at us, where we're so busy trying to explore this rabbit hole that we're not focusing on our mission. So let's take the science back. So let's get as many green and blue back as possible, because that's going to be what's needed to push this forward. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 are going back, and then we put this out like so. Put it over here, and yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Now we could manipulate some things here, like we could discard a charge to get 2 lead tokens. We could discard 1 discovery to gain another type of discovery. My issue is I don't know what I'm supposed to do in that regard. Like, what type of discovery do I really want? And I think that's where the shipboard comes in, because you can look at your research. Like, we need a flora discovery in order to research this one project. I'm not quite there yet, where I'm like feeling like I need one over another. The fact that we have 2 points sitting on the mineral discovery, and we don't, like, we actually do need a mineral discovery. That part I remember. So we could move 1 over, but from where, right? Live specimen or microorganism? Or do I just draw 2 lead tokens from somewhere else? So I'm going to do that. Let's do the mineral discovery. I'm going to draw 2 lead tokens. I'm going to spend a charge. We'll draw 2 lead tokens for mineral discovery. And we ended up getting another 2, which that hurts. Because what happens is this goes back in the box, or in the bag. We do discover this, but it's not like you make change. You may discard this card to reset any number of time tracks. So it's a rare mineral. That's actually a good one. Okay. Science turns over. Let's scroll the event. They are sitting on that symbol, so he can discard a card or lose a supply or sacrifice a die. Now, the science officer actually has an objective to sacrifice dice as long as it's for another reason. So we're going to choose to sacrifice the die, which is interesting. Let's sacrifice the... We're going to sacrifice the basic red. Okay, and then that actually puts 1 progress on the track for Amir. So he has to sacrifice 2 more dice, and then he gets his objective complete. All right, we are moving to security officer's turn. I need to pause, and I'll be right back. Okay, recon officer turn. Not recon, I mean security. First action. I don't want to stay here and help with this, even though I probably could. I think we need to get to the objective, because I'm concerned that we're going to run out of turns, and I'm spending too much time. Now, I'm looking at the sections here. There is this section 4, which doesn't even look like it has a spot for a full-size card, which I find interesting. But we're going to go ahead and travel and see. Yeah, we're going to travel this way. And I can't come back, though, once I go there. So, but we're going to do it. We'll send security first. So we're going to go through, and we have to spend a die. So which die do I spend? Well, let's look at our next one here. You can see we can gain a unique discovery with a strength or compass. Well, strength is definitely his thing. So we're going to go ahead and spend a red basic. Alright, so we went there for 1 action, and here you can see we can't keep moving until we resolve this, but that's okay. We're going to do it, and I'm going to roll the strength die and hopefully get that. and I can re-roll red dice. So we're just going to come here and do exactly what the security officer is supposed to do and take on the tough missions, and that is exactly what I rolled, which is good. I mean, these dice, I do give them credit. I mean, you got a 50% chance of getting the thing you want, and I do appreciate that. That does make the dice rolling a little better. Okay, so I'm going to spend that, and we're going to gain a unique discovery, which is excellent. So we just accomplished the rank up. So this is flipping over. And the unique discovery is protein soup. When you gain this card, gain 2 supplies. Excellent. We're back up to 7. Okay, so we got some supplies back. And then here we're going to gain 2 mineral leads. And the lead bag is just becoming full with nothing but zeros. But we're going to gain 2 mineral leads. And the 2 mineral leads are a 0 and a 1. And again, they're showing up here, which we just got a hodgepodge of stuff. Replace this card with P075. So let's do that. Oh, there's more than one of these. They are not. They are exactly the same. So I'm just going to grab one. So we have a treacherous campsite. So you can make camp, and you or an insisting crew member can discard an injury die. Whenever you rest or exert in this sector, you refresh all dice. That's interesting. You or an assisting crew member draw a section card. I don't care about drawing the section card. It's the little DNA thing that would be nice. Can discard an injury die. That's pretty cool. Oh, speaking of which, I was supposed to roll an injury die. So let's do that. I rolled the drop, which means we have to spend a die. And we're going to spend our blue basic. Okay, so we went there, we did our special action, and there we are. So now it's the end of the round, or end of the... Actually, it's both. It's going to be end of turn and round. Here we go. All we have is the meteor, which is not there. There's no meteor. So all progress goes but by 1. So this... We're going to lose that microorganism thing. And there we go. Turn is over. So now we are back to end of round. So we can choose the order we want to go. Engineer is sitting here with the science officer examining the water that has so far turned up absolutely nothing. DNA and science, or I'm sorry, green and blue are the only thing that progress it. The engineer is sitting with most of the dice exhausted. It's not the most pleasant thing. So I think I want the engineer to also push forward, because we need to... So I'm looking at some stuff here. Like, for example, this gets you mineral leads. And you can go to log 140, which might change what's here. So this might turn into something, but it looks like it's just a mining expedition to go here. And if you go here, it's a dead end. So I think for this round, or this time on the planet, I'm going to avoid this. I do need to get up there. We need to get to the final objective. So I'm going to move the engineer on. That's going to cause us to spend a die. And so now the red basic is spent. And you can see the engineer is exhausted. So we're going to spend a charge. And we're going to do, what's the action called? Rest. And it says here, whenever you rest or exert, you refresh all the dice. So we will rest. That will spend a supply, but the engineer gets all the dice back, which is good. And then this lets you draw an additional card. That was why I spent the charge. Now, for a special action, you can make camp, which lets you get rid of injury dice and stuff like that. But it requires DNA, and we don't have a DNA die. The scientist does, but nobody else. So, for now, just leaving it be. Unfortunately, that's the end of the turn. So here we go. The meteor is the only symbol, so progress time tracks by 1. And now this is going to happen, and G03 is coming out. And global condition G03 is, there's multiple of them. How many of them are there? Four of them. Alright, so shuffle, shuffle. Here we go. I'm not going to peek at all these ones. I don't think it matters. Alright, putting them back in. Okay, so this one is... So for a Vanguard, you can draw a card now. Good conditions. So I think we drew a good one. We're proceeding at good pace. So for travel now, you just spend a die or roll an A, danger die. And unfortunately, it doesn't take very long. And so we're going to discard this condition, which I think puts us back to this. So that's interesting. So we got a condition. It's going to go bing, bing, bing. And then we go back to this. And then we would draw another random one. Okay, that's pretty cool. I like that. That's a pretty cool mechanic. Okay, engineer's done. Now we move to Recon. Recon, as you know, is over here. Our plan was to get that unique discovery. We don't need to get a unique discovery anymore because we have them all. However, every time we get one, we get a success token, and we need 3 more. So I'm going to shoot for that because we got the rank up, so we definitely need 3 more success tokens or we're not going to be able to rank up. The Recon character is Joppy. I don't know if he or anybody's going to accomplish their objective. You need live specimens or mineral leads. So for him, the mineral leads is actually something that could be attractive, but it's on the other end of the board at the moment. So we're going to go ahead and try to finish this. And as you can see, if he just does a green, green, blue, he will gain a success token and 2 microorganism leads. Not super concerned about that. But if he gets the unique discovery, he'll get 2 success tokens. And that's what we're going to shoot for. So he has a green wild child that he can roll that will give him some Vanguard tokens. And then he has a blue wild child that he can also roll to give him some Vanguard tokens. And otherwise, the accident will cause log 31 to trigger. But that's what I'm looking at. We're going to roll those 2. He does have a die that would give him a DNA symbol. Like he has equipment that'll give him a DNA symbol. But we're going to go ahead and roll this, and let's see what happens. So we got an awful outcome here. We got 2 really bad outcomes. I can re-roll one of them, and so that's what I'm going to do. Let's re-roll the green one. And so we did get 1 Vanguard symbol. We also got this, and I don't think there's anything else I can do to mitigate that. This did not happen, so we're at least good there. So this has to occur first, and that's log 31. I have a feeling I'm not going to like this outcome.
Vanguard, this is Team 1. Do you copy?
We hear you, Team 1. What's the problem?
We found some sort of organism. A homogeneous bacterial colony, several centimeters in diameter, capable of motion. It crawled onto one of the suits. We tried to remove it, but it squeezed into the suit's apertures. We're sending you all the data. Please advise.
Stand by, away team. We are consulting with the science section.
This is Team 1. Do you have any updates? This thing is spreading through the suit. We're afraid it might...
This is the captain speaking. We've analyzed your recordings.
Both security and science officers are worried. This thing seems to consciously evade danger and multiplies rapidly. If you return carrying this specimen, there's a high chance it could escape quarantine. We're landing a portable biolab near your location. Please set it up and use the equipment inside to contain the organism. Until then, evacuating you carries a risk we'd rather not take. I'm sorry, Team 1.
Okay, so we have to decide. Are we going to get rid of the parasite or refuse the order? I mean, you do what your captain tells you. That's not a decision. This starts a new obligatory mission. Okay. So the POI in the sector goes to 169. Alright, that is this one. Contain the parasite. And you can see we need all kinds of nonsense. And this is another one of those things where there's no arrow. Okay, so that happens. Oh, hold on. That means that we don't get to gain a unique discovery or this anymore. Because this log 31 was because of the accident. So we don't get to place our dice. See, that's why the order matters. So we're not getting any of these outcomes because this happened and now the card is gone. Oh, you guys. That stinks. Oh, no. That blows chunks. We do gain 1 supply per crew member, which is awesome. So we're going to go 7, 8, 9, 10. So we gain 4. Each crew member in this sector gains the exhausted injury, so that is not good. So we now have 2 injuries on Joppy, but Joppy is by himself, so we get another injury die, which is also not good. Find mission card M32 and place it on the board. And here we go. The infection keeps spreading. Use biolab to cure your condition. So we have that now. And read it. New objective, get rid of the parasite. Alright, and here's what stinks. The officer is by himself. So nobody can help him. And every time somebody progresses all time tracks, look at what's happening. Okay, but we have dice to use here. This is what triggered the bad thing. So that's out. But we have a Vanguard now, and we have this new die, or this new thing. And so you could see here that a DNA symbol will progress the green track. So we're going to progress the green track with the DNA symbol. And then I'm going to use the mapping mine drones, and that gives us another DNA symbol. You can see right here. So I'm going to flip this over because we used it. I guess you're technically supposed to put it back in the armory and then progress it 1 more. So we at least got 2 progress because remember, our dice haven't been spent yet. So now we're spending the dice. That was Joppy's recon turn. Not super... Yeah, Joppy's in trouble. Alright, we at least got 2 progress on it, but now everybody else has to take a turn. And then Joppy still has another turn actually on for him. So he's going to spend a supply. We got to get him his dice back. So we come over here. Oh, gosh. Hold on. Alright, so yeah, I was basically, I spent a supply so we can get some dice back. The DNA symbol is what's going to help us, which we don't have the DNA symbol. So let's get this Let's bring back some wild child. By the way, the accident symbol causes the track to move backwards, so that's a problem. This is another wild child. So that was 3, and then we got one more. We're going to go ahead and bring back all the green. So, yeah, Joppy's in trouble, and I can't help him. Everybody else is too far away. So now we go to the science officer who's stuck with... Oh, I'm sorry. Got to do an event. Alright, so the event for Joppy is... Yep, he doesn't have the symbol, so all progress tracks go up by 1, which is going to really hurt him. So this goes up by 1, and so does this one. Alright, science officer. Science officer is the one closest, but would have to go back here and then over here to be able to help. That's the challenge. Right now is in the process of examining this water and needs a green and a blue to progress this thing. And so science officer will go ahead, and we're going to stick to it because we gotta keep it going. And so we're going to roll all of our green and all of our blue. And here you go. So we do have accidents, but accidents don't do anything on this. This, thankfully, doesn't do anything. And then I just realized this examining the water requires the danger die, and it is the letter C. So for C, that little fox symbol doesn't do anything. So we got lucky again. Good. That's out of the way. So green and blue, green and blue. Those both progress the track, and that goes bing and bing. And that's the end of the turn. So we're 1 away from succeeding at examining the water. And then I'm going to have to spend a supply to get these dice back. So I'm going to spend a supply for the next action, and I'm going to get back exactly these 4 dice. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like so. Okay. That was a very quick turn. And here we go with the symbols. Nope. And nope. So all progress goes up by 1 again. That's bad. Okay. I'm going to have Joppy's going to die on me. Alright. So we move to security. We're at the make camp section. So security is going to move. We got to get to our objective. So we're going to travel along. And for the travel, we can roll the A die or just exhaust the die. So I'm going to just exhaust the die. We're going to exhaust the green basic. And then we're finally here, so it's log 6.
This is the away team. We're about to enter the fissures on the largest active volcano in the area. We're detecting abnormal seismic patterns. There are also layers of magnetic compounds scattered all over the mountainside. Expect radio interruptions.
Copy that, away team. If you don't make contact in an hour, we're sending in a rescue team.
Are you on Brimstone? Of course we're on Brimstone. Why would I not be on Brimstone?
Say again, Team 1. We're losing your signal.
We're inside the mountain. We found of the seismic disturbance. It is some sort of mechanism stuck in the large magma reservoir. It's...
Exercise caution, Team 1. We don't know if...
moving towards us! Where?
Place card P001 on top of any cards in this sector. That's nothing important. Oh, there's one of those dis symbols we were talking about. Okay. Place the irrigator behemoth in this sector. Ooh, we got a creature. All kinds of stuff is being triggered now. Okay. Sorry, I'm going through a bunch of cards here, looking for this irrigator behemoth thing. And there it is. Irrigator behemoth. Okay, so... oh boy. So we're placing him in this sector. Alright, there's a couple of things I need to do here. I am sure there is a miniature for this guy. So we're going to have to go grab the miniature. Let me pause this video because I have a feeling it's going to take me a while. Okay, check this guy out. That is what we just unleashed. Alright, that needs to go in the sector with us. Fair enough. Okay. If this is the first threat you've ever found, remember to check the threat rules. It becomes active. Read its threat cards and apply its rules when necessary. So, if there is no crew member in the sector with the behemoth, move irrigator behemoth 2 sectors towards the nearest. Each crew member in the sector with irrigator behemoth loses a die. Eradicated beam. Each crew member in the sector with irrigator behemoth sacrifices a die and gains a wounded injury. So this is travel, attack, reset track. Okay, I think this happens like every time, you have to progress tracks, right? This is one of the tracks that would get progressed, and so this guy would act anytime you draw an event that causes the time to progress. Let me check the rules to make sure. Now we're replacing our global condition card with G04, which that part stinks. I'm not a fan of that. G04, which is erupting volcano. The area is unstable. We must evacuate. Ay, ay, ay. There's so much going on right now. So I guess the G03 is gone. When its time track runs out, you will die. Find and reveal M34 mission and discard M10 and M31 mission cards if revealed. So, okay. So this is M31 and this is M10. It says discard them. However, we did complete them. We fully explored the sector. Right? We did that for both. So I'm going to gain a success token for this one. And yeah, you'll be asked to discard this mission when you fulfill the objective. So we fulfilled this objective, discard the mission, and gain 1. So they both get discarded, and we are going to gain our credit. So we are up to 4 success tokens out of our 6. Too bad I got that dang accident and got this bacteria on me, because I would have had our 6 if it wasn't for the stupid accident for the bacteria. So, very disappointed in that one. M10 is now back. M31 gets put away. And then it's telling us to get M34. Done. Escape the planet. Eruption imminent. Please evacuate. Leave before the supervolcano erupts. Alright. If the dust storm threat card and standee are revealed, discard them. We don't have that. Move 16, secondary objective, toppling the Titan, to the awaiting envelope. Interesting. So there's this objective to defeat an irrigator behemoth. So this, I think, is representing that we can revisit this planet again. So after the volcano erupts, we can land again and come back and try to defeat this thing. Because after all, you discovered your first alien life form that's alive and has intelligent activity. First thing you need to do is kill it. All right. We will go ahead and do that. Now, it's telling us to read about threats. And I think that is probably a good thing to do because we haven't run into one yet. So page 40 and 45, it says, they represent neutral hostile creatures, 2 elements, 1 or more standees, and then a card. The card gets next to the time track on a threat, shows how the threat behaves. So yeah, when a time token progresses, you just do what it says. So it's exactly as I described. You can do a special action on a threat card if you're in the same sector, and that's this thing here where you can try to defeat it. So you do a dice check and can progress this along to see if you defeat it or not. So that is exactly what we thought it was going to be. So good. I think that is a really decent mechanic, like on how to manage the aliens and the threats, that it progresses along this, and the events can, sometimes nothing happens, like if the event, so I think that's decent. I'm very, I have no complaints about that. But I need to get out of Dodge, and so to get out of Dodge, there is travel now, requires a dice check, and you're either rolling an A danger card, or you have to spend a die to move to the next sector. The security officer has 1 and only 1 die. And so I'm just going to move and spend the die that he has left. And so we basically just traveled twice. That's all we did. We didn't actually do a dice check, although the dice check does require me to do this, even though I spent no dice. And so I did roll the water drop, which causes me to spend a die, and that is going to cause me to sacrifice, which stinks. So we're going to go ahead and sacrifice a green. And then I'm going to use my adrenaline shot to roll the danger, which is a C danger, and refresh all the dice. So let's do that. I rolled the fox, which I think for C is good. Yep, it is. Nothing happens to us. So all the dice are going to get refreshed. I'm just going to put them there. I'll organize them later. Turn is over. So we're drawing the event card. I am sitting in the meteor, which does happen. That's good. So sacrifice a die or progress all time tracks by 1. I will sacrifice another die. I think you understand what's happening there. I'm going to sacrifice a blue. So it's the only blue he has, but that's okay. His turn's over. Engineer's turn. So engineer is sitting here. And as you can see, the only way out of here is to go this way. But here's what I don't understand. Sector 4 there is just a simple card. Was I supposed to put something there? I mean, it shows a little flag. I mean, is that just like a safe zone? So it just represents that you have to do 2 actions to travel over. I think that's what that means. It's just a location, and there's nothing that actually occurs there. So the engineer is just going to travel and then travel again, and we're going to get to where the recon officer is. But unfortunately, I can't help well, I can assist the recon officer, which would be nice. So the 2 travels would require me to spend 2 dice, or I can roll the danger die, the A danger die twice. I am going to just spend the dice to help the recon. Recon needs a blue and a green or a DNA to progress his track. So and then the accident would cause it to go backwards. So we have to be careful because the wild child is nice because you get the vanguards, but the accidents would not be nice. So I'm going to spend a computer and the pickaxe. We'll spend both of those for the travel. All right, so now we got to draw an event. And the event drawn, the only thing is the sun and horizon, which is this, so we do trigger the event. Lose a supply or roll danger. And I'm actually, in this situation, going to spend a supply, because we have 8 supplies right now. So I'm going to go down to 7. Alright, so engineer turn is over. We are back to the recon turn, which we amazingly were able to do, and we only put 2 progress on this. And no progress has been done since. So I want to get recon going. We're going to try to progress this. We need green and blue dice. So the recon officer unfortunately sacrificed a blue one. So we need DNA or green and blue. And unfortunately, I don't have a lot of anything to choose from there. So we're going to do 1 set of green and blue, which will progress it 1 time. And that blows chunks, but there's not much I could do there. And unfortunately, the blue is the side that has all the warning symbols on them. So that's even worse. I need to draw a card, maybe. And then for the green, I think I'm going to do a Vanguard. I got to take my chances at rolling Vanguard. That's the only way I'm going to successfully do this. Now, if I roll the accident again, it is going to make it go backwards. This is a very high-risk roll. Before I take this action, the special action, I'm going to prepare. So let's draw a card. And I got the thing that at least prevents us from drawing an event card. So that's good. Or I could reduce time tracks up to 2 times. Those are good, but they don't let me reroll dice. So I have a potential of significantly setting myself back by rolling those. The green and the blue together will move it forward. So the engineer can add a die, and the engineer is going to add a blue, so that way these 2 will move it forward. And then I'm banking on the fact that these 2 are going to be Vanguard. That is a huge risk, but that's what I'm going to have to do. So I'm going to roll for this is the engineer die. Alright, the engineer did her part, so I'm just going to put it over here on the monster. And then we got to do these 3, and then I have 2 injury dice as well. Oh boy, not looking good. Alright, so we ended up getting some decent rolls, but we got this stupid thing, and that's going to prevent us from pairing it up with that. That blows. And then we ended up getting... This one causes us to exhaust, what do you call it? We have to destroy a die. But this one's nothing. So we're good there. So the die we're going to destroy is, we'll just destroy this one. So Joppy got another one gone. And, alright, this sets us backwards 1 space. So it goes backwards once. But these 2 will move us forward twice. So 1, 2. We've made one progress, and that's it. Not a dang thing more. And then this die didn't help us. And then these dice are all exhausted, and his turn's over. Oh boy, I'm worried. All right, nothing happens. That's an excellent one to draw at this point. And I had the card that actually, I apologize. I'm playing this card that does don't draw an event. So we already know that the next player, nothing is going to happen on their turn. I know that sounds cheaty, but trust me, I was just going too quick. I had this. I was for sure going to play it. We don't want progress to go up on this microorganism. So it's to the science officer. We need one more progress, and the science officer will actually complete this. So we're going to do this. Science officer needs a green and a blue combo, and then of course the DNA symbol will help. If the science officer can go help with the parasite, that would be amazing. But I got to do 2 travels to get there. But let's finish this. I want to finish where we're located right now. I just need a green and a blue to move it forward. So I'm going to take a basic green and a basic blue. And that's all I'm going to do. And then of course this. And this does not trigger anything, which is good. And the basic green and basic blue is all I needed. So right here, green and blue will move this forward. I will resolve that right now. We gain a progress. We are at 5 out of the 6 that we need. Then we got to go to log 52.
Away team, exploration report 29C.
The water is denser than it should be. It contains significant quantities of unusually stable tritium. Its presence diminishes the possibility of finding life here. However, we've gathered water and mineral samples that may hide the secret to stabilizing radioactive isotopes. Apart from this discovery, if we install water purifiers and oxygen extractors, this place would make for a good resupply station.
Okay, we gain 1 mineral discovery. We just gain it, which is decent. So we got, you may discard this to gain charges up to your starting number. All right. So we gain that. And then replace the POI with P168. So let's do that. And so we got this radioactive pool. So for a DNA token, we can gain a supply and then gain another supply, and then P001 goes on, which we already know is just nothingness. So basically, you would use it all up. You gain 2 supplies. So this is interesting because now when we save the state of the world, this is the point of interest that would go with this planet. So if we ever came back, the radioactive pool is what's going to be there. So I'm really glad we made it this far because now we can use that to gain 2 supplies if we ever return. And I'm not going to do anything more, of course. I'm definitely not taking those supplies right now. I think we have plenty for this particular mission. And then, so we're done. We have 2 dice. I'm going to go ahead and just travel. But if I end my turn here, I have to spend a die. So I'm basically spending 2 dice to go here. So 1 and 2, they're all spent. So the science officer has nothing. But before I end my turn, we're going to play some cards. This is discard a charge to gain 2 lead tokens. Discard a discovery to gain another discovery. So let's take a look. Remember, we can only take 5 discoveries back with us. And we currently have 1, 2. So these 2 are coming for sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So we can't bring them all back. This one would let me gain a mineral discovery. It's a microorganism. So I could discard the microorganism to get a mineral. This is a rare mineral. I think for sure I need to bring that one back. I don't want to use it though to research something that's minor, which is what this one. So like this one would let me gain charges up to my starting number. So if I did that, then I can use those charges to gain 2 lead tokens of a certain type, or I could discard 1 discovery to gain another. So my issue is, what do I do? This one would give us 2 energy, which is not a bad thing. I have a lot of alien tech right now, and so I'm thinking, should I try to get like a tech I don't have, like a strange flora one? The other problem is like we got all these tokens out here, and so we're on the cusp of discovering even more. Or do I just leave it be? Now, no matter what, I have to discard one of these. So if I have to discard one of these, which one would it be? And unfortunately, I think it's going to be this one. I think I do need a mineral discovery, though, to progress one of our science things. This one would give me that mineral discovery, so I could just take both of these and be done. Maybe this one is the one that I should actually discard, since I already have several alien techs already. But whatever the case, I don't think I can play any of these cards. This is the one I could do. So I could get rid of one of these to get another of something else. I just don't know what that something else should be. Like a live organism or a strange flora. And the only reason I'm leaning towards those is because I've never found one of those. I think I have a live organism. I don't have a strange flora, for example. So I could trade the alien tech for that. But I still have the dilemma of I can only bring so many back. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to discard this here. And I'm going to get rid of the alien tech. And we're just going to grab a strange flora one. Just because we can. And there we go. We got a sentient mycelium. When unloaded, you may discard this card to gain 1 command in the command pool. So it still gives us the dilemma of I got to leave one behind. But I would probably just leave this one behind because I would discard this to gain a mineral, and I already have a mineral, maybe. But there we go. We're over our 5, so I'm not worried about discoveries so much. Okay, turnover. This is where that event card would have said nothing happens, so we're good to go there. Now we move to the security officer who's running for his life. And we refreshed all of our dice, so we're good there. And we got to move and move again. So 2 moves to get to over here. So we're going to spend 2 dice. And remember, we need dice to help. We need to help this guy. So which 2 dice do we spend? We're going to spend a basic and the compass, I think. That's a tough call. But yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Basic and compass. Or you know what? We're going to spend the shield. There we go. Alright, his turn's over. Now we got to draw an event card. And we are sitting on this. So this triggers. Hurricane. Discard every lead token from discovery decks. Each crew member may roll an A any number of times to save 1 chosen lead token from being discarded. I'm okay with discarding all of them, so no worries there. All the recycle ones are going to go back in the bag. We're not worried about lead tokens right now, so that's good. That could have been dangerous, but it's good for now. And then, yeah, all these get discarded, which means we're not getting any more discoveries this round. This one's going to go back in the bag. All right, that was a decent event because it didn't move the progress. So now we're to the engineer, and so you can see the engineer here has a green and a blue, and then the blue wild child. So we're going to try to help him get this bacteria, get rid of it. The thing is this could progress it by 1. This could set us back. I do have the ability to re-roll some dice, which will help. So I just need 2 progress. I could assist, which means I'm adding a wild child, like a red wild child. It could backfire on us to do that. The engineer is going to... The other thing we can do is we could let's prepare. We're going to prepare first. So we're going to draw a card. Lets me reroll any number of blues, which helps. And then, of course, we don't have any mission equipment. So, all right, let's do this. So we're going to roll. There's no injuries for the engineer. And it's a perfect roll. So we got 2 progress right there. Those can be counted as DNA, and we can just ignore this one. So I'm just going to go ahead and discard these. We got ourselves a perfect roll. And so bing and bing, we can do log 11. I was very concerned about this. So let's... discard the quarantine mission card, M32 or M33. Okay, M32 is being discarded. So it says completion. When you fulfill this objective, you will be asked, okay, fair enough. Let me do that right now. For a game that's just about rolling dice, they did a real good job. Like, I feel very immersed right now. I'm 2 hours in on this mission, and I'm feeling the tension. Is this, like, am I saying this is like an amazing game? This is a very good game. I'm going to put it at that level right now. I'm not going to say it's amazing yet, but I'm really enjoying playing this. And I think I enjoyed this as much as Stars of Icarios, maybe even a tad bit more. I do want to see how, like, if I come back to this planet again, how does that change the dynamic? Like, I feel like the game is just starting to blossom. Like, all those hours I spent so far getting to this point has been just tutorial. And now I'm, for the first time, actually playing the game for real. And the blossoming part is where it's starting to get fun. Like, if it was prescriptive like the previous ones, this would have been bad. Or I would have gotten bored with it. I'm feeling tension. Like, we're not to the point where the volcano is going to explode. The enemy hasn't been able to chase us because we haven't progressed any time tracks since the enemy spawned. So from that perspective, we're safe. I'm not worried about the volcano exploding. I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to lift off long before that volcano explodes, so we're going to be good there. There's a lot of stuff that's happening here that I think we're okay. But I can't stress enough that, like, at the same time, I'm feeling a lot of tension. Like, I desperately wanted to get rid of this parasite and not have it infect us. I didn't want my Joppy guy to die, or, like, I'm invested. So, it's accomplishing that. Like, I feel like, thematically at least, I'm it's in it. I'm in it to win it, kind of thing. I don't feel like I'm just controlling these characters from up above and not invested in their outcome. I actually feel the tension. So, anyways, just a small mini review as we go through. Okay, we did this. Flip the rank up card to the completed side. Your rank up task is considered complete regardless of its rules. Well, we did that already. Each crew member refreshes 2 dice. That is good. I'm going to refresh some dice. I'm starting with the engineer. I'm going to get the wild child back and green basic. We'll do that. For the security officer, he only had 2 dice to refresh, so he'll refresh both of his. For the recon, we're going to refresh the wild child and another wild child. Yeah. And then for the science officer, we're going to get that DNA because we seem to need a lot of that. And then the science symbol, get both of those back. Replace the biolab card with the field lab card P082. Okay, so give me a second while I go do this. So here's field lab. Analyze the samples. So we can gain a discovery from a deck with at least 1 lead token. Place card P001 on top. So I'm okay with leaving that sit there too, and we can maybe do that later. But so every science symbol can get us a discovery. And I think now we just got to get out of Dodge, because that's our objective. And so this was the engineer, I believe, that took this turn. Yes. No. That was the engineer that took that turn. So we got 1 more action left, and I think we're going to use that to move to here. And unfortunately, that means I'm going to have to spend 2 dice, exhaust 2 dice. So we will do that. 2 dice get exhausted. Turn over. Draw an event card. They got none of those symbols, so all the progress time tracked by 1. So here we go. Volcano is starting to erupt. And then we got this, which is travel and attack. So travel says, if there's no crew member, move 2 sectors towards the nearest. So I'm assuming they got to follow the same rules we do. So 1, 2. Boy, that guy's going to catch us quick. So let's get going. Engineer was the start of a new round. So that means we got to go to recon. So recon will move to here. That spends a die. And that does not spend a die. You do not have to spend a die to move anymore. It's a dice check. I gotta be mindful of this. So we'll do a dice check with it's any color dice. We'll just do a red basic dice check. Alright, so that's the die that's going to get us there successfully. It's spent. But that means, though, I have to roll both of the injury dice. And I trigger both of my issues. So I have to exhaust a die, and then I have to sacrifice a die. So I'm going to sacrifice that one. Alright, and then I'm going to end my turn here, which makes me exhaust another die. So, move 1 crew member from your sector to a connected sector, ignoring past, before or after. I'm going to do that right now. We're going to move... Oh, I moved the wrong guy. I'm moving the engineer here. So now we're all 4 here, and then we're going to lift off. We're done. This is it. I didn't have to do anything more. Also, I could have just done a jetpack to move. There were so many things I could have done, but we're good. We're here. We're going to lift off log 440. Let's do it right now. Is there an irrigator threat on the planet board? Yes.
Captain's log. Entry D215.
I won't lie. That ancient war machine buried deep under the surface of the planet caught us by surprise. From now on, we need to expect more surprises like this one. The technology was unmistakably identical to the defense emplacements built around the Eye of the Void. Whatever the builder's plan was, this young race does its best to make sure no one can follow up on it. Who knows how powerful they are, and how many systems they control? Having such a warlike species in our part of the galaxy fills me with unease. Just like the fact that each piece of their technology we found so far seemed millennia old. If they could build things like that ages ago, who knows how powerful they are now? The codename our science team has for them is the Irrigators. An apt name, considering they seem to be hell-bent on claiming every world for themselves. Let us hope they haven't already claimed half of the galaxy.
All right, we completed it. Are you on Everstorm? No. All crew members who are not on the lander sector are killed. Okay, that's not an issue. If there are no crew members, the lander and all its contents are lost. Shuffle all non-unique discoveries and other cards on the lander back into their deck. Okay, that's only if there was no crew members. We're not doing that. Open the shipbook on page 25 and begin ship management. Done. All right, we will do that in the next video. I am going to try to do that. My battery's going dead on my camera, but I think I have enough in me to do one more shorter video like that. Plus, the ship management phase is my favorite part. Excuse me. We're going to do that. We accomplished none of our objectives, so that blows. And yeah, so we'll go up, we'll land. We got a pretty good idea of what's going to happen. But we can at least move those, the med bay and the production tracks along, which is the part that I think is going to be helpful here. And here's the part that is absolutely excruciating. I have 5 success tokens. I need 6. So we're not going to rank up. So this card is going to get shuffled back in to the rank up. Unless somehow we get another success token. So I'm going to... but I don't think we do. Anyways, thanks for watching. As always, stay awesome.